Chapter 42. For 2 hours after returning home, he lay on his bed motionless. Then he went to his company commander and obtained leave to visit the staff. Without taking leave of anyone and sending Venusia to settle his accounts with his landlord, he prepared to leave for the fort where his regiment was stationed. Daddy Eroshka was the only one to see him off. They had a drink, and then a second, and then yet another. Again, as on the night of his departure from Moscow, a 3-horse conveyance stood waiting at the door. But Olin did not confer with himself as he had done then, and did not say to himself that all he had thought and done here was not it. He did not promise himself a new life. He loved Myanka more than ever, and knew that he could never be loved by her. "Well, goodbye, my lad," said Daddy Eroshka. "When you go on expedition, be wise and listen to my words, the words of an old man. When you are out on a raid, or the like, you know I'm an old wolf and have seen things. And when they begin firing, don't get into a crowd where there are many men. When you fellows get frightened, you always try to get close together with a lot of others. You think it is merrier to be with others, but that's where it is worst of all. They always aim at a crowd. Now I used to keep farther away from the others, and went alone. And I've never been wounded, yet what things I haven't seen in my day." "But you've got a bullet in your back," remarked Venusia, who was cleaning up the room. "That was the Cossacks fooling around," answered Eroshka. "Cossacks? How was that?" asked Olin. "Oh, just so. We were drinking. Vanat Sitkin, one of the Cossacks, got merry and puff. He gave me one from a pistol, just here." "Yes? And did it hurt?" asked Olin. "Venusia, will you soon be ready?" he added. "Ah, where's the hurry? Let me tell you. When he banged into me, the bullet did not break the bone, but remained here. And I say, you've killed me, brother. What have you done to me? I won't let you off. You'll have to stand me a pailful." "Well, but did it hurt?" Olin asked again, scarcely listening to the tale. "Let me finish. He stood a pailful, and we drank it, but the blood went on flowing. The whole room was drenched and covered with blood. Grandad Burlak, he says, the lad will give up the ghost. Stand a bottle of the sweet sort, or we shall have you taken up." They brought me more drink, and boozed. "Yes, but did it hurt you much?" asked Olin once more. "Hurt? Indeed. Don't interrupt. I don't like it. Let me finish. We boozed till morning, and I fell asleep on the top of the oven, drunk. When I woke up in the morning, I could not unbend myself anyhow." "Was it very painful?" repeated Olin, thinking now that he would at last get an answer to his question. "Did I tell you it was painful?" "I did not say it was painful, but I could not bend and could not walk." "And then it healed up?" said Olin, not even laughing, so heavy was his heart. "It healed up, but the bullet is still there. Just feel it." And lifting his shirt, he showed his powerful back, where just near the bone, a bullet could be felt and rolled about. "Feel how it rolls," he said, evidently amusing himself with the bullet as with a toy. There now, it has rolled to the back. And Lukashka, will he recover? Asked Olnin. Heaven only knows. There's no doctor. They've gone for one. Where will they get one? From Grozno? Asked Olnin. No, my lad. Were I the Tsar, I'd have hung all your Russian doctors long ago. Cutting is all they know. There's our Cossack Balaloshka. No longer a real man now that they've cut off his leg. That shows they're fools. What's Balaloshka good for now? No, my lad. In the mountains there are real doctors. There was my chum, Vorchek. He was on an expedition and was wounded just here in the chest. Well, your doctors gave up on him. But one of theirs came from the mountains and cured him. They understand herbs, my lad. Come. Stop talking rubbish, said Olnin. I'd better send a doctor from headquarters. Rubbish, the old man said mockingly. Fool, fool, rubbish. You'll send a doctor. If yours cured people, Cossacks and Chechens will go to you for treatment. But as it is, your officers and colonels send to the mountains for doctors. Yours are all humbugs, all humbugs. Olin did not answer. He agreed only too fully that all was humbug in the world in which he had lived and to which he was now returning. How is Lukashka? Have you been to see him? He asked. He just lies there as if he were dead. He does not eat nor drink. Vodka is the only thing his soul accepts. But as long as he drinks vodka, it's all well. I'd be sorry to lose the lad, a fine lad, a brave like me. I too lay dying like that once. The old women were already wailing. My head was burning. They had already laid me out under the holy icons. So there I lay, and above me, on the oven, little drummers, no bigger than this, beat the tattoo. I shouted at them, and they drum all the harder. The old man laughed. The woman brought our church elder. They were getting ready to bury me. They said, he defiled himself with worldly unbelievers. He made merry with women. He ruined people. He did not fast. And he played the balalaka. Confess, they said. So I began to confess. I've sinned. I've said. Whatever the priest said, I always answered, I've sinned. He began to ask me about the balalaka. Where is the accursed thing? He says, show it me and smash it. But I say, I've not got it. I've hidden it myself in the net above the outhouse. I knew they could not find it. So they left me. Yet after all I recovered. And when I went from my balalaika, what was I saying? He continued. Listen to me, and keep farther away from the other men, or you'll get killed foolishly. I feel for you, truly. You are a drinker. I love you. And fellows like you, riding up on the mounds. There was always one who lived here, who had come from Russia. He always would ride up on the mounds. He called the mounds so funnily hillocks. Whenever he saw a mound, off he'd gallop. Once he galloped off that way and rode to the top quite pleased. But a Chechen fired at him and killed him. Ah, how well they shoot from their gun rests, those Chechens. Some of them shoot even better than I do. I don't like it when a fellow gets killed so foolishly. Sometimes I used to look at your soldiers and wonder at them. There's foolishness for you. They'd go, The poor fellows, all in a clump, and even sew red collars to their coats. How can they help being hit? One gets hit. They drag him away, and others take his place. What foolishness! The old man repeated, shaking his head. Why not scatter, and go one by one? So you just go like that, and they won't notice you. That's what you must do. Well, thank you. Goodbye, Daddy. God willing, we may meet again, said Olnin, getting up and moving towards the passage. The old man, who was sitting on the floor, did not rise. Is that the way one says goodbye? Fool, fool. He began. Oh dear, what has come to people? We've kept company for well nigh a year, and now goodbye? And off he goes. Why, I love you, and how I pity you. You are so forlorn, always alone, always alone. You're somehow so unsociable. At times, I can't sleep thinking about you. I'm sorry for you, as the song has it. It's very hard, dear brother, in a foreign land to live. So it's with you. Well, goodbye, said Olnin again. The old man rose and held out his hand. Olnin pressed it, and turned to go. Give us your mug, your mug. And the old man took Olnin by the head with both hands, and kissed him 3 times with wet mustaches and lips, and began to cry. I love you. Goodbye. Olnin got into the cart. Well, is that how you're going? You might as well give me something for a remembrance. Give me a gun. What do you want 2 for? Said the old man, sobbing quite sincerely. Olnin got out a musket and gave it to him. What a lot you've given the old fellow, murmured Venusia. He'll never have enough. A regular old beggar. They're all such irregular people, he remarked, as he wrapped himself in his overcoat and took his seat on the box. Hold your tongue, swine, exclaimed the old man, laughing. What a stingy fellow. Myonka came out of the cowshed, glanced indifferently at the cart, bowed, and went towards the hut. The file, said Venusia with a wink, and burst out into a silly laugh. Drive on, shouted Olnin angrily. Goodbye, my lad, goodbye. I won't forget you, shouted Eroshka. Olnin turned round. Daddy Eroshka was talking to Myonka, evidently about his own affairs, and neither the old man nor the girl looked at Olnin.